traps are one of the things we need to be aware of in the whole aspect of mental toughness, okay? So, thinking traps are absolutely lethal to creating resilient thinking, okay? If you want healthy thinking, then you've got to be able to spot and identify these thinking traps, okay? Because, like Henry, is it, you know, how Henry said, how do I, you know, stop the emotional charge, or how do I, you know, how do I stop that, you know, event happening? The first thing you got to do is be aware of what it is, okay? And thinking traps are one of the things that gets us into trouble all the time, okay? So we need to be able to know what they are and then spot them, okay? And if we do know what they are and we do spot them and we talk about them, it's much easier to have a conversation within our own teams, because we're all going to be doing these thinking traps, you know, not all day, every day, but we are going to be doing them throughout the day. And it makes it much easier to be able to call someone on something or talk to someone about it if you've got some language to be able to say, hey, isn't that up, da 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 da. Okay, so thinking traps, what are they? Well, the first one is blaming. So what is blaming? Give me an example of something that might have happened today or yesterday. Someone that hasn't spoken?
It's John's fault.
Sorry? It's John's fault. Yeah?
I wasn't here when it happened.
Yeah, that's right. I take no responsibility for it. Blaming is taking no responsibility.
We just said then that they were cheating.
They were cheating, absolutely. Because you guys didn't win, you blamed them for cheating. Perfect. Love it. They did cheat. That's right. We're fact finders. They did. We saw. Oh, you're not. I know. You're a purple man. In a nice, thoughtful way. So, what else is a thinking trap? Personalising. Okay, illustration, example of personalising. Table it back. Can we?
All my fault.
Pardon?
All my fault.
It's all my fault. You know, I go in and Keith, is it? No. Yes, it is. Don't. See, personalising would have been, oh my God, I'm hopeless with names. I get them wrong all the time.
Don't make up his head.
Oh, you poor dear. You should spend longer. You didn't do much. Okay, so we get what personalising is. We take it in and we get sensitive. We get really oversensitive about it. And I reckon we all do a bit of that, you know? Okay, what else is there that's a thinking trap? Catastrophizing. Yeah, I don't think it is a word, but I love it. So it is for today. That's right. Catastrophizing, making mountains out of molehills, okay? Thinking the worst possible case. What else? Overgeneralisation. Table in the middle. What's an overgeneralisation example? When we overgeneralise. All accountants are boring. Okay. Assumed mind reading. Okay, this is not always as easy to see. So, see, audit, think they're so good. We'll get them to give us an example of assumed mind reading. Well, that's about 2.5 seconds. I know it's a hard one. Assume mind reading. You know when you don't, you guys will be doing this all the time, you think the other person knows what you're talking about, right? Absolutely. And they don't. And you don't take the time to actually, you know, of course we do. Yeah, you know what I want. You should know, you should second guess me. Yep. Okay. Jumping to conclusions. Example of that. Quick start table over here. Too hard.
Because you see someone go into someone's office, they must be in trouble.
Yeah. Absolutely. Ooh, ah. You see?
Corridor example.
Yep. Absolutely. You know, another example of jumping to conclusions is one person, it could be a simple thing that might interfere with delegation. Someone in the heat of, or not in the heat of, someone might be a bit nervous because they've just started a job or they've got a new boss and they make a bit of a mistake and the boss goes, you know, they're a bit shabby in terms of eye for detail, you know? So it could be things like that. Okay, so we have got some sheets on the table, right? And we've got a list of all of these thinking traps, and I want you guys to work in pairs for this, and then we can talk, you can share them in the, later on in your groups. And I want you to identify some examples where you are doing this, okay? So talk about it in pairs and pick examples of where you've been doing this today or yesterday, the last week, this month, all right? Because you're all doing them, and the first thing we need to do is to be able to spot them and see them, okay? So start identifying them and start giving examples that you do, okay, in your pairs.